Are you looking for a video to watch because you want to keep yourself busy, instead of overthinking the decisions you have made in life? This is the perfect entertainment for you. Have you ever heard about faulty analogy? If not, then you better know it now before it is too late. Here's what you should know about faulty analogy, its definition, and how it works. According to Doing Ethics by Louise Vaughan, a faulty analogy is a fallacy that occurs when an argument compares two things that are similar in some ways and then concludes that they are similar in another way, even though the similarities are not relevant or strong enough to support that conclusion. For a better understanding of it, think of cats and dogs. Cats meow and dogs bark, and they both have four legs. But it doesn't mean they are the same in every way.
Cats and dogs both have four legs, so they must be the same.
Well, in reality, they have similarities, but thinking that a cat does everything that a dog has, and vice versa, it becomes a faulty analogy. Another example could be the idea of having more money equals more success and happiness. While money helps us buy things we need and want, it does not mean a person is truly successful or happy. Success and happiness also comes from relationships, personal growth, good health, and a sense of purpose. These are some of the things that money alone cannot guarantee. Now that faulty analogy is explained in the most simplest ways, this leads us to another question. How does it undermine the moral reasoning of a person? A faulty analogy weakens good moral thinking because it makes people believe conclusions based on misleading comparisons rather than real evidence. This can result in poor moral judgments, unjust policies, or wrong decisions. To delve in deeper, let us take a look at it in a Philippine context scenario on how exactly faulty analogies distort two concepts and deceive people by making unethical decisions in life. Imagine this. There are two friends. Let's name them Bryan and Liam.
Pre, alam mo ba? Nag-cheat ako sa exam kahapon sa Jorn.
Weh, susumbong kita akala mo ah.
Ganon. Pag sinumbong mo ko, edi na-drop ako. Tas, di na ako makakagraduate.
Mali yung ginawa mo eh.
Sus, kung ikaw wala kang baon, binigyan kita. Nilibre kita. Kaya ako nga sinabi sa'yo kasi may tiwala ako sa'yo, tas ganyan. Anong silbi pa ng pagkakaibigan natin?
De, biro lang. Di naman kita isusumbong. Ang importante, nakapasa ka. Oops! Pause. This is a Filipino context of a faulty analogy. It's one of those scenarios that automatically assumes that if you're friends with someone, it automatically means supporting each other, justifying others' wrongdoings to feel satisfied. While it is true that friendship involves closeness and loyalty, the similarity is not enough to justify or support wrongdoing. From what the example showed, Liam assumed that Bryan would support his wrongdoings just because they are friends. Liam automatically assumed this because he argued with the reasoning of Bryan having an utang na loob to him because of what he did before. Thus, the reasoning is weak because it fails to distinguish between genuine support and blind loyalty clearly. Liam also uses a similarity that is not relevant to the moral issue, relies on a conclusion that is not logically justified, and does not provide enough evidence to prove that true friendship requires tolerating or defending wrong actions. With that, let's take a look at another example. Imagine you're scrolling through your phone. You came across A TikTok video of a wellness instructor giving health advice based on his personal experiences and purely opinion based. But the influencer also added that a doctor had also approved the health advice. So you believed everything he said because he compared his teachings to those of a doctor. This faulty analogy happens when you treat doctors and influencers as if they are the same, just because both advised on social media. While it is true that both share information online, that similarity is not enough. The reasoning becomes weak because it ignores the most important difference. Doctors base their advice on scientific research and medical training, while many influencers rely only on personal experience or opinions. The comparison focuses on a shallow similarity, both posted online, but ignores what actually matters: evidence and expertise.
Based on earlier examples of faulty analogy, it becomes clear how easily misleading comparisons can distort reasoning. To prevent this, one must carefully examine whether the two things being compared truly share relevant similarities. By thinking critically and questioning assumptions, we can avoid drawing false conclusions. Let's go back to Liam and Brian's situation. Let's go back to Liam and Brian's situation. Pre, alam mo ba, nag-cheat ako sa exam kahapon sa Jorn.
Weh, susumbong kita kala mo ah.
Ganon. Pag sinumbong mo ako, edi na-drop ako. Tas, di na ako makakagraduate.
Eh mali yung ginawa mo eh.
Sus, kung ikaw nga wala kang baon, binigyan kita. Libre kita. Kaya ako nga sinabi sa'yo kasi may tiwala ako sa'yo, tas ganyan. Ang silbi pa ng pagkakaibigan natin.
Di pre, mali talaga yung ginawa mo. Dapat nag-aral ka na lang ng mabuti o nag-review ka para tumaas ang grades mo. Di yung nag-cheat ka pa. Tsaka di naman dahil susumbong kita, hindi na kita kaibigan. Ayoko lang tinatolerate yung maling ginagawa mo. Paano ako mag-grow niyan kung ayaw mo na sinasabihin kita sa mga mali mong ginagawa?
Instead of tolerating Liam's actions, Bryan chose to challenge them with thoughtful counter-arguments. He offered insight that encouraged Liam to reflect, grow, and take responsibility rather than simply be excused for his mistakes. Through this, the focus shifted from tolerance to meaningful personal development. This shows a better and more ethical view is that we can be loyal and grateful to a friend, but we should not support them when they are wrong. In fact, real friendship includes correcting and guiding them, not enabling bad behavior. It also shows that Filipino values like utang na loob can be positive when based on respect and mutual care, but harmful when used to pressure or control others. This shows that good ethical reasoning focuses what is right, not just on personal loyalty or obligation. In the second example, rather than immediately believing the wellness influencer, you chose to dig deeper and question the claims being made. You took the initiative to research reliable information and even considered consulting a doctor for professional advice. This approach helped you understand what's truly going on instead of being misled. It is also a better way to think about it that not all advice online is equal. Health claims should be based on scientific evidence, expert training, and verified sources, not just personal stories. Good ethical reasoning focuses on what is reliable and proven, not just on who is speaking or where is it posted.
Once you get to understand the basics of ethics and observe the different kinds of fallacies that happen every day, it gradually cultivates your critical thinking, decision making, and logical arguments. These qualities are more than just helpful in encountering challenges of faulty analogy. It reshapes the perception of the society as well. Remember, don't base decisions on the number of similarities, because some of it may not mean truth. Try looking beyond the surface first, then maybe you'll find the right judgment.